we got a split, and that's you have to hope for that against a quality team, top-ranked team. I didn't think we played well on Friday. I didn't think we executed. I didn't think we competed hard. I think that showed up on our power play. How scattered. We only got a couple, and they were in the third period, but it really showed how unattentive to detail we were. Probably some immaturity, and what I mean by that is understanding how the preparedness mentally and the attention to detail you have to have when you play a team of that caliber and a team in a playoff type atmosphere, and with quite a bit on the line. Had we had come out with a sweep, but Mankato, I think, is they weren't different than they were before in the way they played, but what I thought is that they were better. Like they didn't surprise me at all in the way that they played. Like they didn't do anything differently or things like that. But I think overall in the areas how they did play, they were better. They're a good hockey team. Their defense, we knew going in, had great mobility, and they had great mobility, and they were good. You had to they made you better because they could beat you easily with their feet or with the puck. They got the puck quickly, and they made quick plays. What I was really impressed with their team, they're getting stronger in their role identification. I thought that their size strength D played with size strength. Their size strength forwards played heavy. Their skill D played quick, and their skilled forwards played quick. They were hard on the puck. So it was a really good challenge for us. We hung in there. I thought we played a really good first half on Saturday night. I thought the second half was a little bit looser than we'd want to be. But then we were able to get a good power play opportunity at the end and in overtime, and able to get a goal. And our skilled players made a good play on that. Stiven was very good on that power play, and guys found openings and kind of played off them. We've been playing with more intensity and I think more attention to detail on Saturday nights. We have to find our Friday night game. Normally we come in, our MO has always been that we're really good on Friday. We come in ready to play. The guys are prepped well and in their minds, and they know how to be effective. And then sometimes it kind of would get away a little bit. And recently we haven't been ready to play. And you have to be ready to play. And again, I think a lot of that is just the makeup a little bit of our group in the youthfulness, and some guys that haven't been worked themselves through their difficulties at where they were prior to know how to be assertive and to they just kind of settle in and accept what happens, and if I'm ready, I'm ready. If I'm not, I'm not. And for that reason, they're looking for new opportunities, which they've gotten here. But they still have to grow from that if they're going to be players. So I think it's attention to detail, it's maturity in a lot of ways, and it's competitive. I won't call it greatness, but knowing what you do well and doing it well, and knowing what you don't do well, and making sure that you're working on those details. So better on Saturday nights. What we need to come out and play 120 minutes if that's what it takes, or more on the weekend to have success against Northern. Gordo's strength is he can find open areas and get shots off and things like that. And the biggest area that we want him to get better at is being able to drive a line, to be the guy on the line that can make sure that offense occurs. And he's doing better in those areas. He's doing better in those areas where he's more efficient on the forecheck and more efficient on his neutral zone in creating offense off of defense. He's getting better at that and relying maybe a little bit less on guys making plays and getting him the puck, or him being able to float around and try to find that opening and finding that opening. But being more impactful in other areas. The puck's on your stick. How often in a game? Like, I don't know, McDavid, a minute. I don't know if you looked at the average or how much it's on his stick, and he's the best in the game, in my opinion. So the rest of the time he's on the ice, if he plays 25, 26 minutes, the rest of the time he's on the ice, so 24 of the 25 minutes, the best player in the world that has the puck the most is playing away from the puck and trying to get it back to be quality on the time he does have the puck. So it's your play away from the puck that drives it, and he's getting better. Gordo's getting better in those areas, and that's what he needs to do to work himself into a position to be, have a chance to be a pro. Yeah, he's done a good job for us. We all in all, after coming out with a shutout last Saturday night, you'd play him. But I've been around goaltenders long enough that you want to set them up for success. Confidence is a huge deal. I want him to see the rink in Mankato, and I wanted also to get Derek, see if Derek can, get himself back in the win column and things like that. So I think we made the right decision. I don't think it was, it wasn't goaltending that lost us that game Friday. The whole team was in a, kind of in a sit back and watch mode in a lot of ways. And that's really on me, and that's what we have to resolve. But, I thought that Ryan obviously did a phenomenal job. We still gave up a couple of pizzas that gave them, a breakaway and a 2-on-1, and he came up big in those opportunities. And those are the things we have to rectify, and that's primarily on our defense and trying to do too much. And we got when we have forwards open, we want to get them the puck, and our D like to carry it first. And if they were 30-point D, we'd probably let them go a little bit more. But the reality of it is that they have to be efficient. They have to defend and not put us in situations where, we're chasing the game a little bit. And that happened, and Ryan was there was able to, get us out of it. Well, he came in at the right time. We were playing in some tournaments. We didn't win the first game of the tournament, so we wanted to see what he was able to do for us, and he's won games. That's what I really like. And he's gotten a couple shutouts in 4 starts. And that's what I really like. So, right now everything is good, great for him. It's kind of like Gordo last year, whatever he got, 18 goals, whatever he got last year. It's when the times get a little tough, how they react to that. We'll see, everything's not always going to be rosy, and, we'll see how he handles that. Blake Pietila showed that he could always bounce back and give you a good game. Like Dominic Hasek, he could let in 6 one night, but the next night he wasn't letting in any. So we'll see what he's made of right now. I like everything about him. I think the guys have confidence in him, and and sometimes it sparks a team. So we'll see how much of a spark we can get out of him, and ride the wave ride the wave a little bit, and see how things work out. He's played in the toughest. He won a 1-0 game against tremendous hockey team that's gonna be an at-large in the national tournament in their rank. That only lost 2 games all year long, so pretty good. Well, they're breaking the puck out more efficiently. They compete really hard. I'm watching that game. Holy man, it was a mob fest. I thought, like, I haven't talked to Ernie, but it was the referee sure let him play. So it was they're competing hard. They're growing. They're more energized. They're doing a good job. They're doing a really good job. I like the way they play. I really like the way they play. They're playing fast, playing aggressive, playing on their toes, competing hard, getting good goaltending, and they're a good hockey team. I'd be proud to be behind that bench for sure. You know what? He's really probably the reason why kids my age in the Sault Ste. Marie, which is, he's from Sault Ste. Marie, Canada. Everybody knew Tony and Phil Esposito, and I was born in '63, so that dates me a little bit. But you look at his time, so in '72 or '73, that season, I was about 10 years old. That's right when you're at your, and then the year before that, he's Tony Esposito. I don't know what year did he come into the National Hockey League, but it was in that time, he was, and he got like 13 or 15 shutouts his first year, so he was a name. So everybody wanted to be Tony Esposito, and everybody wanted to be Phil Esposito. And you go over to Canada, and their pictures are all over the place. And they're the guys, you know what I mean? They had the Tony and Phil Esposito hockey school, and they'd show up for like a half a day, but that was all you needed when you were a little kid, to just be able to see them and have them sign something for you or something like that. So for me, I was Tony Esposito. And then they sold the Tony Esposito masks, the street hockey masks that we all, back then, like when goalies didn't wear masks a lot of times, we all wore them, and you'd shovel driveways or do whatever and get a little bit extra money and run down to Woolworths and buy one, paint it up, get a little bit of paint, and paint it up in art class, and wear it that night in a game. You'd go play a game that night and wear it. So he, to me, like he was kind of my idol as far when I was growing up. He was the first. I don't know how many teams were there at that time, maybe 9. And, I wasn't going to gravitate to Gump Worsley or Cesar Maniago. And, I liked Ken Dryden, but I'm not sure he was quite there yet. He might have been just there. It might have still been Rogie Vachon there. But Jacques Plante was old. He was the guy. Jerry Cheevers in Boston. Tony Esposito to me was the guy because we all, Jerry Korab, another guy from the Sioux, big defenseman for Buffalo. Those guys you idolized, because you knew their name. And they're one of you. Hey, they're from our neck of the woods. So I idolized him. He was the reason I'm waiting for Kelvin to get me a couple pictures that Tony signed for me. Like a few years ago, he signed some nice pictures for me. There's a sketch I have of him in our office. To me, he was probably the reason that, and I told him that, when I talked to him on the phone, 5-6 years ago, I told him, you're the reason a lot of us, and he knows it, that a lot of us in Sault Ste. Marie played, you know what I mean, and you want to be somebody. If I'm a forward, probably want to be a trash goal scorer like Phil, and if you're a goalie, the legs come apart, and first are the butterfly goaltenders.